Welcome back to the BTS Happy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Andrea. Joining me as always is Morgan.
Hey, what's up?
We're going to look at some more blind items today.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Today's blind items are from crazydaysandnights.net and written by NT Lawyer. So the first one is dated September 25th, 2019. So keep that date in mind, and I will read. It's kind of a long one, but it starts off with, I had to translate this, so hopefully it makes sense. So obviously the person sent it in Korean, and it had to be translated to English. So it starts off, A-list K-pop group member blank has a groupie that found a way to get close to one of his B- list friends from another group, blank, to get closer to the A+ lister. During his vacations, she organized everything to follow him to the city where he was with his family to create a fake dating scandal, manipulating CCTV content with the help of her friends from a shop and one of her friends that impersonates him, parentheses, they look alike. Thanks to this fake scandal, her business has won 500% more clients, and she's about to buy an apartment in Seoul, while the entire country is hating on him. His company is now more worried about covering a certain scandal of another member in Paris, so they just denied it and are trying to bury it. The woman is now on her Instagram, deleting comments and leaving the ones that imply they are actually a couple and fans support them. I know she's not going to let this scandal die. She loves the attention and wants to become famous no matter what. Also, his fake friend also knows she's a groupie and didn't tell him anything, even after she usually has sex with that B- lister at private parties.
I have no idea who these were. Oh, wait, what was it? The Jungkook tattoo artist thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes.
That's what this is about.
I knew it was... okay. It sounded like that.
So apparently, okay.
So let's recap the thing, though.
So what was said here was Jungkook has a groupie, I guess.
Of course.
And she is close friends with some
a
lower...
B-.
Yeah, some lower status
but
friend of
also,
his.
that person knows Jungkook.
Yeah, but he's...
Who is that person?
I don't know. Someone from another group, who is not as big as BTS. I don't know who that would be.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't have any guesses on that person. It could be like anybody.
Could be anyone.
I don't know who his friends are, and I don't know who
Right.
like the other.
He could be friends with tons of people.
Yeah. So I guess this blind is saying that she followed him around and made it look like they're dating, because I did hear about that CCTV leak from a tattoo shop, but I thought he was actually in those videos.
Right.
Like he was just there, but maybe not necessarily like.
But what you're saying is they got a person who looks like him to fake these.
Yeah. So
Wow,
so this
so
girl
intricate.
like created this whole storyline.
What involvement does he actually have in all this? Zero?
I guess I don't know. It's just say that this woman is a groupie, so I don't know. Maybe he has slept with her at some point. Is what they're trying to say.
Didn't say that though. It only says she slept with a B-.
Yeah, she slept with that guy, but I guess. Well, if someone's called a groupie, does that mean they slept with the main person, or they just are a groupie in general?
Well, look, I don't know the rules.
It's hard to say.
This. I mean, I know that groupies would want to sleep with you, but that doesn't mean you necessarily do.
Maybe he did nothing, and it just looked like.
I mean, just because they want to sleep with you doesn't necessarily mean they get to.
Right.
Right. So, is she a groupie, or is she in it to increase her business?
It sounds like she is a groupie, but she only for sure slept with the friend of Jungkook's. And did this for her business. What was I going to say? Oh, I had thought this whole scandal was that, he actually did go to a tattoo parlor and he was hanging out with people there, but that people exaggerated like what was going on. Like, this girl was his girlfriend and this and that. But I guess that wasn't even him. It was like someone who looked like him.
It's more insane, this story. Because the real story is just like, well, maybe he's dating some girl.
Right.
Who cares?
That's believable.
Whatever. Maybe she's a tattoo artist. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, so?
I
mean, what amazes me is that she can leverage this sort of thing.
It says it helped her get more clients. Like, she's a name now. But because she's...
Correct.
Fake,
she is.
Fake dating Jungkook.
I thought tattoos were illegal in Korea.
Are they? I don't know.
I thought it was illegal to give people tattoos unless you're like a doctor or something. I don't know. I'm not terribly familiar with Korean law.
Yeah, me either. I mean, people have tattoos. I don't know where they got them. Maybe they have to go to America or they have to go to like China or something.
No, I think it's as what I understand is you can do tattoos in Korea, but you have to have some kind of special license.
Like they try
like
to
a medical license.
regulate it more.
They try to make it much more difficult to give them out, yeah.
Right. Like here, it's like there's a tattoo shop like every corner.
No, I'm not sure in practice. There's a lot of things that are theoretically illegal or difficult to do or whatever, but in practice it's not really enforced, and this may be one of them. I'm gonna guess that's what it is. People probably can just get tattoos, it's fine. Yeah, so she set this all up to improve her. What was her first aim? Was it to improve her tattoo business, or was it to get closer to Jungkook? It's
hard to say, because if she was trying to follow him around on his vacations, it's like, well, that was part of it, is to
I guess she was maybe just a groupie.
Yeah.
And this is just a happy byproduct for her.
Yeah. It's like, okay, if she can't sleep with him, then get people to just think that she is.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Well, that's really interesting, because I never heard that angle of it before. But
well, yeah, who would have thought of that angle? That's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of manipulation.
Yeah.
This one was not revealed, but I just thought, it sounded so obvious, like who this was about, though.
Yeah, it sounded, even I recognize it.
It definitely sounds like it's about Jungkook, because the whole CCTV and the Paris thing has to do with Jimin. So I think this is definitely about them.
Wait,
BTS.
What was the Paris angle?
Remember, the second paragraph here was about how Big Hit was trying to cover up his scandal in Paris, which I guess is where they're saying the threesome and the...
But then it doesn't seem like that got out very much, right?
No, it didn't, but maybe it kind of happened all at the same time.
Maybe they successfully covered it up. But it doesn't. I didn't hear anything about that except from you.
Right. I don't think it got out that much.
I guess maybe they successfully covered it up.
Jungkook thing seemed bigger, but then it died down too, because everybody was just like, okay, whatever. So
because they had video footage, that's why it was bigger. But on balance, when you think about it, it's not as big of a deal. I mean, let's say he's dating some tattoo girl. So what?
Yeah. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're dating a girl.
If that's what's happening.
If Jimin is having threesomes, that's way more salacious, isn't it?
That's bigger news.
I would say so. But they didn't have video footage of it, so that's why I no traction on that.
Yeah.
Easier to cover up.
That one is just like, that's just people talking.
Yeah. We deny it. It's BS. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Make sure, hey, when you're a celebrity and you're having sex with girls, make sure you have them sign an NDA.
And take their
phones, sign an NDA. That's my advice to you. And always have a handler with you. Always have a manager or a handler to do this, because you'll be too drunk to do it.
Be smart.
You won't remember to do all of this, right? So obviously only a manager or a handler can do it. That's my practical advice for celebrities. Now, you may think the better advice is to not engage in this sort of behavior. And in an ideal world, I guess I would agree with you. But in a real world, let's be honest. I mean, you're a good-looking, famous, rich young man. You're going to want to do these things. So just make sure your company needs to have handlers they need to take care of this sort of stuff. NDAs, phones, etc., etc. These are the practical precautions. You can leave your ideal world stuff. You can keep that, because we don't live in an ideal world. So it's not going to apply. So in that case, probably Jimin had good management nearby.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything that was like solid evidence that got out.
Right.
All I know is blind items.
Yeah, none of the girls were able to take pics of them and stuff,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's a lot more salacious than it originally sounded. At first it was just, he's dating some tattoo artist girl. No big deal.
Yeah, that's a story we all heard.
But as far as scandal goes, it's not a scandal for him. It's a scandal for her. They're trying to frame people and this and that. It's just...
Yeah, but there's probably a lot of girls out there that they'd love for people to believe, I'm dating this member of BTS.
Yeah.
So
that's probably about him.
Yeah, that one wasn't revealed, but I think us with our K-pop knowledge, it's pretty clear that's about BTS.
Interesting.
The second one is also not revealed, so I'm not sure who this is about, but we can have our guesses, and I'll just go ahead and read it. Oh, and I also wanted to note the last one. The date was September 25th, 2019, and so that was right after their break ended, so that also fits in with the timeline,
Okay.
their 35-day break.
Right.
Okay, so the second one It says one of the biggest male groups in K-pop has 2 members who are closeted. Well, there could be more than 2, but these 2 were trying to stay hidden in corners this weekend at a bar as they canoodled with their respective American boyfriends.
One of the biggest has 2 members.
Yeah, so a
Who are
male
gay.
K-pop group has at least 2 gay guys in it.
And where were they doing this?
It doesn't say the city. It just says at a bar with their American boyfriends. And this is dated November 20th, 2017. So I don't know.
17.
It makes me think this is not about BTS because I don't know.
They were big in 2017.
I mean, they were big. I don't know if they were like in the US that much in 2017.
This is very hard to say.
This is hard because it
This is like before your time, though. It could be Shiny, you know?
could be EXO.
Yeah, it could be a lot of these groups.
Any group
It could
that
be
has,
Super Junior.
yeah, like these groups that have a lot of guys in them. It could
Yeah.
be like any 2 of them.
And then you're like, oh, there's 2 guys. But there's so many of these groups have so many guys. So it could easily be any of them, right?
Yeah, there's like not a lot of information here. But what I have to look at is
Don't know, yeah.
like who would have American boyfriends? Like if you're Korean, like how likely is that?
Not likely. You have to be in America more often than not, right?
And you have to kind of speak English like pretty well if you're going to be have an American boyfriend, I would think.
Well, they might be Korean American. They might speak Korean.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
It's not a lot to go on.
This one was not revealed, and
Yeah.
so
I don't know.
It's
It's
hard.
not a lot to go
We
on.
don't know
2017.
who it is. Yeah, just name all the male groups from 2017. Was Big Bang still around? Oh,
Yeah.
There's only like 4 of them though.
I mean, there's 5. You know that we both know they have a gay member in Winner, but then there's only 4, so to say 2 of them are gay is kind of a big ask. You know, this doesn't seem unlikely to me that half of your members are gay.
What about GOT7? Do we know a lot about them? Is there any-
No.
Yeah, I don't
Oh, you know what? GOT7. GOT7 is a little bit more likely, just because I think they have at least 3 members who are pretty fluent in English. Pretty fluent in English.
Right.
So they'd be more likely to be dating a North American person who speaks English. That's just the
Yeah.
way I see it.
I would think it's more likely if it's a K-pop male who speaks English.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be 2 of GOT7.
Yeah. So
And they've toured America for sure. I don't know in 2017 if they did or not, but
this one's a hard one. But if I had
Yeah.
if I had to guess, I'd just have GOT7, just because they have a lot of English speakers. And this is 2017. They have a lot of English speakers. They have a lot of members. So if you're going to say that 2 of them are closeted, it's probably a larger group, right? It's probably not a 4-member group.
yeah.
It's probably not a 5-member group, just statistically speaking. So that's probably a 7-member group.
I also think they would
They probably
be
speak English.
more easily blending in at a bar.
Well, where was this bar? In Korea or in the United States? I would assume the United States. You can't really do this stuff in Korea, can
Yeah, I think the way it's written is that they're in an American bar somewhere.
you? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my guess.
Yeah.
They have English speakers.
I think that's a good guess.
Yeah. Now, do you want to guess which members?
I don't even know the GOT7 people.
Well, the ones who speak English are Bam Bam, right? And Mark, Jackson Wang. Those are the 3 that I know that speak really good English.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume it's 2 of them then.
Right.
I'm going to guess not Jackson because he doesn't seem gay to me.
Yeah, he doesn't
No.
to me. Let me see if anyone thought anything in the comments. Because this one's kind of a hard one. And it could be like many groups. Okay. People are just guessing BTS. But that's all American people
I don't-
know. Like, they don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
There's like so many more possibilities than that.
I don't think it's them. Just because of the language issue.
I don't either.
Mm.
And I
would
also
say it's GOT7.
I don't
or-
really think 2 of BTS are gay either. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see that.
I mean, 2 out of 7 people could be gay, but I think the English barrier is big.
And it's
More
like,
GOT7 members speak English.
yeah, and it has to be they speak English from a younger age, not
Mhm.
like they just learned English.
And it's 2017, so that eliminates some of the newer groups.
Right. Yeah, so I guess we won't have a resolution on that. But yeah, it sounds like you have a pretty good guess.
I mean, don't quote me. I'm not trying to like pinpoint it on those guys, but that's my best guess.
Yeah. And we won't know until this is revealed, but it's from 2.5 years ago. So
I mean, it probably won't be revealed from 2.5 years ago.
yeah.
And the other thing is, 2.5 years ago, think about it. Some of the more obscure groups, I'm guessing that an American gossip person doesn't really have any knowledge of the more obscure. They probably only know the top, right?
Yeah.
The top
Well, just say
sounds like GOT7 to me.
one of the biggest male groups in K-pop.
Sounds like GOT7 to me. It does not sound like BTS.
Yeah.
Not because I think it'd be wrong if it was them, and I'd be upset it was them. I don't care.
I don't think that would be the description if it was BTS. I think you would say like A+ K-pop.
I just think. No, I don't think they would say A+. This is 2017. You have to keep in mind.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They were all the same level. So, it's the language thing that is the best clue for me. They have to speak English if they have North American boyfriends.
Yeah.
In my mind, and really, BTS has one English speaker, so it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. I don't know how many EXO has. It's probably one,
Yeah.
right? It's probably not more than one.
I don't know.
I'm not that familiar with EXO.
I don't know EXO well enough, but this could be them. You never know. They have a lot of
Could
people.
be. They were huge in 2017. They still are huge. Super Junior, they're big.
Yeah.
And also Super Junior, they've been around forever, so they have much more freedom to just sort of go wherever they want to go, do whatever they want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that BTS in 2017 or GOT7 in 2017 had a lot less freedom to just be doing stuff. So it could be Super Junior. But I don't know how many English speakers they have, but then they have so many members too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Comment if you have other guesses,
Yeah,
listeners.
I mean,
if you think you've cracked this one.
yeah.
Let us know.
Which group has 2 gay members? Like, I know that a lot of K-pop fans would love to speculate on that because they like to ship people together, which I
Right.
think is weird as hell, but whatever. You guys like it. So think about which ones you think are, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But
If
my guess, just based on those clues, is GOT7.
Okay. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is about girl groups. So this is from dated October 24th, 2019. Last April, I heard a story about a member of a female K-pop group who came to the U.S. to perform at a big concert. During that visit to the U.S., one of the women in the group had an abortion at a doctor in Los Angeles. I was told there was no way she could have it done in Korea because until very recently, if she was discovered doing it, she would go to jail. Invariably, news would leak, and her career would be ruined. Everyone likes to pretend the women are all virgins. I thought of it as a one-off thing, and then this summer, one of the singers of arguably the most popular female K-pop groups also combined a tour stop with an abortion when she was in LA. Apparently, the groups also load up on Plan B whenever they tour because it is something you can only get from a doctor in Korea. An actress from the country, who is probably A- list, was blackmailed into making a sex tape because someone discovered she came to LA to also get an abortion. The fact that she was in a sex tape almost came to light earlier this year.
Well, wasn't this like close to when Coachella was happening?
April was probably the big concert they're talking about. That was Coachella. April.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this is Blackpink. Everything America and K-pop girl groups and Blackpink probably, right?
So, yeah, the first part of that is about one member of, I guess, Blackpink got an abortion during Coachella.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. But I do remember they performed and then like Jisoo was missing for some of it, and then they were like, oh, she's sick. She's not, hanging out with the other artists and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know if
Okay,
that's
so she went and got an abortion.
if they're talking about
The end.
Jisoo.
Done.
I mean, because I don't remember anyone else who was, unaccounted for an amount of time. So it kind of sounds like
No, makes sense. It was
that
her.
would be about her.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it was about someone from another girl group who got an abortion. So I think that's talking about twice.
Oh, really? When were they in America?
Well, it says one of the singers of arguably the most popular female K-pop group.
Okay.
And remember, they performed in LA in July 2019.
Right. Okay.
So I
So
don't
one of them.
have no idea which one they'd be talking about, though.
Nor do I.
'Cause
I'm not even going to try to guess.
They all performed except for Mina, though. But then Mina had her anxiety. But if that was not the
Not
issue,
at that time. Not at that time. I don't think so.
Didn't she perform with them on that one? Or
Yeah, so the anxiety thing didn't happen yet.
Okay. Yeah,
Could be any of them.
I don't know which one they're talking about.
I mean, I'm on record as saying I think they all date, so could be any of them.
And then they're trying to say that in Korea you have to get Plan B from a doctor, and so then instead of doing that and maybe having it leak,
and they can't get.
They try to do this in LA.
They can't get birth control there.
Right. They try to get everything in over here.
Yeah.
While they're here.
Right. Oh wow, that's terrible. They can't get birth control there, can they?
I didn't know it was that restricted.
Can they? I don't know.
I thought you could go to your doctor at least.
Can they get the pill there or no?
I have no idea. We need a source.
I assume that they can't, because if they could, they wouldn't need Plan B. They would just get the pill. They wouldn't like go to another country to get Plan B, obviously. So I guess maybe they don't even prescribe the pill there. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe somebody educate us on this, but
it just seems like an easy enough thing. Like, I know it's another country, but it seems like you could get it online, or you can, have a doctor.
They're not going to ship it there
somewhere.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't think so. If your country doesn't offer, then it's hard. But you can get Plan B in another country. That's not as good of a system, though.
Right.
It's better for you to just be on pill all the time as a contraceptive. Plan B is obviously terrible, and it's obviously terrible to use abortion as a contraceptive. I wouldn't recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're even going to Plan B, I would assume that the pill is not available, because you would just do that. Obviously, you would just do that. Could be any of them. Not going to say which one, and it's not necessarily twice. Remember that Red Velvet was here too.
Oh.
It could be any of the big three.
It says
they were touring.
It says in LA.
Yep.
Did they come through? I mean, they all stop in LA.
They all stop in LA. That means nothing.
All the groups.
That means nothing. Could be Red Velvet.
That's true.
So it could be any of them. And you know what? I think it's just totally normal. People, they have sex and sometimes they get pregnant.
I just thought you work for a company, though. Wouldn't they have private doctors who would keep this all confidential, and then they could prescribe the pill to them? Like,
no, probably not. I mean, think about it. These doctors would have to break the law in Korea to do this. Probably they don't want to go through that. It's probably easier to wait until you go to the United States and get them some Plan B. No, I don't know. You would think. If I were a company, I would get like a lifetime supply of birth control pill.
Just buy some in bulk.
Just like in bulk.
Like go to Costco.
When you're in America, just pull some strings and say, I need 100 years worth for 100 women, and just hand it out like candy or whatever. That's what I would do. Maybe they don't do that, or that's not possible in some way. I don't know. I have to imagine that would be possible. I have to imagine that would just take money, because it's not like morphine.
Like trying to get something that's a controlled substance.
Yeah, like whatever. A really controlled substance or something. It's like, it's the birth control pill, guys.
Right.
I can't imagine it's that hard. I mean, don't they just hand it out sort of like candy at Planned Parenthood and stuff? I mean, you can get it. And I'm sure with money, you can get a lot of it. And they don't spoil, as far as I know. You could just tell your girls to just take one every single day, right? And that'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these K-pop companies probably tell them that we just don't want you to have sex. But hey, that's one of the age-old questions, right? Do you just want to count on abstinence and count on them doing what you want them to do, ideally? Or are you more pragmatic about it and just give them some birth control in case they don't do exactly what you tell them to do? That's up to you. But I'm sure it would just take some money to get a bunch of birth control pills. Yeah, I remember Jisoo was sick, quote-unquote sick. So I guess maybe now we know she went and got an abortion. And as far as which member of Twice or Red Velvet, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say Gio or Momo, but
because they're dating.
Yeah, but they may not be the only ones dating, so it could be anyone,
right.
Really.
Like, we've established it. We think that they're all dating. I do. So it could be any of them. And honestly, I just feel it's dumb that this is even a scandal. It's just like to me, it's just like a healthcare thing. You just need the pill. Okay, no big deal. You need Plan B. All right. But they have to come to America for it. Not judging Korea. I'm not saying it's wrong to have their views on sex and pregnancy or whatever. But you think at least he should be able to get the pill, because of the birth control pill doesn't abort a pregnancy. It just prevents it. that seems like not that controversial, even in super conservative countries,
Yeah.
right? Even super conservative countries have come around to this idea that preventing pregnancy is just not that big of a deal. Is it still a big deal in Korea? Do they not have the pill? I guess they must not.
I guess they're still not at that point yet. Like, they think, oh, if we educate young women about the pill, then they're just going to go and have more sex and then just feel free to keep doing that.
Okay. We don't know that for sure. I have not researched it. I don't know what their laws are. But if that's the case, then, I don't know. That's a little bit behind the times, I think.
Because we know, like, they don't have a bunch of Planned Parenthoods in South Korea.
No. I'm not even asking them to have Planned Parenthood. This is just birth control pill.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying they have to legalize abortion or anything like that. But birth control pill is far cry from abortion. That's a fundamental difference we're talking about here.
Yeah.
It's prevention. It's not termination, it's prevention. That's a big, big difference. Okay? So I'm not sure why they would be against that prevention, but maybe they are. If the women have to come over here to get Plan B, then it seems like they are. I don't know.
Maybe it is available, but then they're just afraid.
Oh, it might leak?
Yeah, if they go to a doctor, then somehow the news would get out.
That's where, if you're a company, you need to just get a big, gigantic batch of it.
That would be the smart
maybe
thing
they
to
don't
do.
want to do that because they might think that that's like implying that it's okay to go out and have sex.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that age-old question. Is it better to draw a hard line and say, no, this behavior is not okay, or tell people that the behavior is not preferred, but also treat them in a way that's pragmatic and assuming that a lot of them will engage in the behavior, right? It's like in America when we ask, like, should like certain institutions like schools hand out condoms and things like that. Some people say, no, you're encouraging people to have sex. But then other people will say, well, they're going to do it anyway, so we would like them to at least have safe sex, right? So there's that age-old friction between those 2 points of view. But in this case, I would think that a company would want to get it as a practical matter. That's just me.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to prevent this sort of stuff and then cover up, dating than to send someone for an abortion or something. It's just, I don't think that handing these things out will encourage people to have relationships and have sex. I don't think so. I think that they are already massively encouraged to do that sort of thing. You know why? Because everybody in K-pop is really attractive. So why would they not be attracted to other attractive people? It just seems to make sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think that handing out any sort of contraceptives or prevention or anything will increase it. You can hand it out and still say, hey, we want you to be... Ideally, don't do this. If you got to do it, be responsible. Be discreet, right? Here's some precaution, though, in case. I think that's the most practical way to go about it. But maybe that's not an option for these companies.
And then the third part of it was about an actress who...
Oh, I have no idea. A Korean actress? Oh, I have no idea.
An actress who was blackmailed into making a sex tape because someone discovered she came to LA to get an abortion. And I think people thought this was about Sully because we found out she was blackmailed.
Oh.
And then this
I
is
thought, she an actress?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
And this is all wrapped up into like why she killed herself.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
This was all being, threatened to come out, and the sex tape as well. Because I think there was talk about that she was in a sex tape also before her suicide happened. So this might be all related to that issue.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm not sure if she's like A- list actress from Korea, but all I know is there was talk of a sex tape and blackmail involving her.
Well, I guess we could just say it's her then. I mean, it makes sense. All fits, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Apparently, that's a big thing, is like people being blackmailed about things in Korea, like actresses and
blackmailed about and then they had to make a sex tape, or just like sometimes they have to give money. Usually blackmail entails money, obviously.
Usually they want money.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have like whatever evidence that they're holding above you. It's like, oh, I'll leak this if you don't, do what I tell you. But apparently that happens more than we hear about.
Right. Well, that's one benefit of America having such a loose and permissive society. There's very few things that you can blackmail people over.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to just say. It's
you
like,
can't.
I'll release these naked photos of you.
Like,
It's like, oh,
join the club.
Bring it,
We
you know?
we have major stars and big personalities who they have nudes leaked. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all.
it's not the big
No.
scandal that you think it might be
It's not.
anymore. Like everybody's desensitized to it,
Yeah.
and everybody has like naked pictures out there.
Like Ariana Grande has nudes out there. Jennifer Lawrence has nudes out there. Just go look it up right now on Google.
I guess that's the one benefit of like American celebrity. It's like,
Yeah.
well, there's very little you can blackmail them with.
Yeah. What are you gonna do to
And
me?
it's like, well, I have a sex tape. It's like, okay,
great,
and
whatever.
So what? Everybody has
Some
a sex
people's
tape.
careers skyrocket after a sex tape, aka Kim Kardashian.
Right.
So who cares?
She paved the way for it.
Like
being
blackmail
acceptable.
me. You might boost my career. Thank you.
It's crazy how that works. But yeah, that's how it is now. It's like it's not even a
That's
threat.
how it is right
really.
now. Yeah.
Like if you wanted to blackmail someone here, you better have like
They better be killing and eating babies
they're
on
like
camera.
beating up a puppy or something.
Right. There's very few things you could actually blackmail people over. Yeah.
There's not much. They'd have to be doing something pretty bad.
Something just so depraved that any sensible person would just want to like throw up. That's how bad it would have to be. It wouldn't just be, oh, that's kind of embarrassing. Kind of embarrassing is nothing.
Like someone just having sex with their boyfriend or husband or whatever,
or
like,
even somebody else's husband. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't
even
matter.
that. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's out there. Oh well.
Right.
It has to be a pretty sick thing to actually be able to blackmail someone with in America.
So that's good. You can't really blackmail people here unless you have something really, really juicy. In which case, hey, why are you even involved in something so sick? That's your own fault, man. Mm-hmm. You know, but you can't blackmail people with just sex tape or nudes.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
In America, you can't just like use embarrassment. That's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough. That's nothing. That's nothing.
That's not gonna cut it.
People have no shame here anymore. So
it's like, look, your naked body.
Like in Korea, there's a lot of shame still, which is on the one hand good because God, people kind of need to operate with more shame probably, but bad because like people can blackmail you if they have something bad on you, right?
Yeah, and that leads to a lot of people being stressed, people committing suicide, people like actually caring about stuff like that getting out.
But here nobody cares. Like it was like 4 years ago when all those nudes leaked, and I'm sure it was not pleasant for the people involved. Okay,
right?
I'm sure it was not pleasant, but I bet you they got over it real quick. Does anyone even talk about it anymore? Like, look at the people who are involved in it. They're still in the public eye all the time. When you look at those people and they do a movie or they do an appearance or whatever, do you look at them and think, oh, you're that person. I saw you naked online. No. I bet you anything you don't even think about that stuff.
It's been like
because
forgotten.
It's so common,
it's
right?
forgotten by this time.
It's so common that people are just naked and they have stuff out there these days.
Yeah.
You don't even look at them and think, oh, you're that person who has a sex tape.
And it's so many people. Like, you can't just say, oh, that's just one of the 2 or 3 people that has a sex tape out there.
Like, when I see Jennifer Lawrence do an interview for a movie, I just think, oh, what movie is Jennifer Lawrence doing? What movie is she promoting? I don't think, oh, there's that hussy Jennifer Lawrence. I remember when we all saw her naked body on the internet. I don't even think about that. I don't even remember that. That's not even like the top 6 things that come into my mind when I'm watching her anymore. That's the reality.
Wow, that's that shameful woman.
Yeah, I don't
Shame.
think about that at all. And if you mentioned that, I would say, oh yeah, she had those things, huh? Yeah. Now that you reminded me, see? But I bet you in Korea, if you had something like that come out, every single time you were seen, people point at you and say, that's the shameful person that did this.
Yeah.
And that would weigh on you. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It has its pros and cons, right? For a society to have certain standards can be good in some ways, but it can also be bad in some ways, you know? And I think this is one of those examples. Like, what? Let's put it this way. Like, this person came to the United States just to have an abortion. Like, okay, is that the greatest thing? Not in Korea, no, obviously. Their cultural standards say that's wrong. But I think most people can also agree that it's not a good thing either that using that as leverage, a person can force you into making a sex tape. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not a good thing either. You know, that's another terrible thing that's done to a person based on this like cultural shame. Like another victim was created out of all of this because of that, leveraging that.
They're
that's not
using
good,
that.
but if this happened that way, that's what happened.
Yeah.
A person leveraged that cultural aura of shame to victimize another person.
It's unfortunate she felt
Yeah.
the need to like, oh, I
Right.
have to comply
Yeah.
making this sex tape.
Yeah.
Otherwise this abortion
Whereas
will get out.
if you come over to the United States where we have pretty much no shame about anything, nobody would be able to do that, victimize you in that way. At least in that culture, say what you want about it. It's not necessarily all positive, of course. But a person cannot use that information to make a victim out of you. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Maybe it was Sully. It's hard to say, though. There's a lot of actresses.
because of course I'm sure a lot of them don't want this getting out there.
Right. And if they get abortions or whatever, they do probably come here.
This
That makes
makes me like, anytime somebody goes to LA, it's like, okay, what are you doing there if you're a actress or K-pop?
No, I'm not going to
I mean, they
start
go
thinking
there
that.
anyway for many reasons, but
I'm not going to start going there.
yeah.
It's possible, but I'm not going to start. That would be terribly unpleasant to just start thinking that. Is that the last blind item?
There's one more.
What was it?
This one is from June 29th, 2019. It says, wait until the fans find out about the biggest foreign-born group in the world right now and their involvement in the drugs and hookers scandal and how the group is not only involved but also profiting from it.
Profiting from the hooker scandal? Is there like a hooker scandal that's going on?
This one, it's revealed to be about BTS, but I don't believe it.
What
'Cause,
hooker
like,
scandal?
What drugs and hookers scandal are they talking about? There isn't one.
Yeah, it's like, is this like a thing, like the World Cup that is happening that we all know about? What? I didn't hear about it.
I think maybe they've gotten some tips confused, and maybe this is really about the Burning Sun thing, because that had drugs and hookers, didn't it?
Yes, but okay. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I just don't see how this could be about BTS, because like, when have they ever been talked about in the same sentence as like drugs and hookers?
yeah. This doesn't make sense for BTS.
No.
Like, they don't run a club.
Yeah, and it
Like
says
with Big Bang, it kind of made sense because like they ran a club and things like Seungri ran a club, things like that.
and it says the drugs and hookers scandal. Like, we're supposed to already know about that scandal. It's like, well, I don't know about any scandal with BTS, but I know about Burning Sun has a scandal.
Right.
So I think this one's just a mistake. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's not like there's one big drug and hooker scandal going on these days. Why would they even be involved in it?
Yeah, and how would they profit from it? It's like, are they pimps? Like, they own the hookers or
Right.
something? Or are they the ones dealing drugs? Like, why?
It doesn't make sense.
They're musicians.
They're musicians who have to work like 14 hours a day.
Yeah, they don't need,
Yeah.
they're not going to use their time.
If anything, if somebody's doing something like that, it'd probably be like their label, right? But there's no inkling that their label is doing anything like that.
BTS is like working so hard on songs and dancing and touring. Like, they're not spending their
No.
time creating a drug and hookers empire. Like,
No.
that doesn't even make sense.
And the only reason why, like with Big Bang, Seungri, the only reason why he could do all of this stuff is because he had these outside businesses, and they were on kind of a break.
Right. They weren't like,
So he was able to just do his thing.
they weren't actively
Right.
doing stuff. He had his side businesses. Some
If
of
he had to
which-
work 14 hours a day, he wouldn't have been involved in all that.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. No, it's just not. No, it's not about them. It's about someone else. Or it's just like mixed signals. It's just wrong.
It's like, okay, if Bang PD and like J-Hope are running a drugs and hookers empire, that would be like the biggest shock of my life. I'm trying to just picture that.
Right. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. And plus, here's the other thing. The business is too big. Think about it. If you're making a gigantic amount of money being BTS and doing BTS stuff, why would you want to make like loose change on drugs and hookers or whatever?
Right.
It's just I know you can make a lot of money from these things, but it would pale in comparison to what they make in their main business. So why would you
Yeah.
why would you do that?
It's like, you could do that, but then they'd just make so many more millions doing what they do with music.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, no, that one is a no.
This one I think is a false tip, or they're confused with someone else, because there is no drugs and hookers scandal.
No.
That has
and there's no the scandal.
Yeah.
No. This one's wrong.
This one is incorrect.
Yeah. Well, that's all the blind items then.
Yes.
Not bad, but yeah, it just reinforces what I've always said. All your K-pop stars are dating, and I guess they need abortions and Plan B. That's the main takeaway.
Well, I mean, it seems like all the groups are doing world tours now, so maybe it'll be easier on them.
Probably, yeah. They can pick up all the Plan B they need.
They can be abroad.
Hopefully they can just get them like a gigantic stash of birth control pills. That would be the most logical thing in my mind.
It'd be better if they were on the pill,
right,
and not Plan B or getting abortions, because that's not a good system.
No, it absolutely
not
is
good
not.
For your health.
It absolutely is not. Please don't do that.
Thank you to NT Lawyer from crazydaysandnights.net. Thank you to our guest, Morgan. You can find BTS Happy Hour on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. New episodes weekly. Please comment, review, or rate in the podcast platform you're using. Follow us on Twitter @OurBTS. Until next time, this has been the BTS Happy Hour. Thanks for listening, and remember, make every hour a happy one.